As we step into the luminous heart of July 2025, something beyond words begins to stir. Beneath the everyday noise, the footsteps on pavement, the wind brushing rooftops, the hurried glances of a restless world, there is a softer pulse, a murmur, a sacred hush that only the quiet-hearted can hear. It is not loud, yet it echoes through the chambers of the soul like an ancient drum. If you close your eyes and truly listen, you'll feel it, a vibration that doesn't come from outside, but rises gently from within. This month does not shout its magic, it whispers it, in numbers, in symbols, in delicate alignments. Only the spiritually attuned will notice. These are not ordinary days. This is a threshold, one where the invisible becomes more real than the visible, and where 6 sacred numbers emerge from the fabric of the cosmos, like guiding stars in a dark sky, not chosen at random, not placed by chance, but encoded long ago in divine timing, now revealing themselves to those who are ready to walk the inner path. Each of these numbers is a vessel, a frequency, a subtle awakening. They are not here to entertain, they are here to initiate, and their messages do not scream for attention. They call quietly to the deepest layers of your being. The same numbers seen by seers, whispered by monks, foretold in the writings of mystics like Nostradamus and Baba Vanga. They come bearing spiritual blueprints, not for what you must do, but for what you are finally ready to remember. For when the soul is ripe, even a number becomes a key. These vibrations align not just with your fate, but with the Dharma unfolding through you. They turn stillness into movement, hesitation into trust, time into destiny. As Thich Nhat Hanh once wrote, "The wave does not need to die to become water. It is already water." So too, these numbers do not bring something new. They awaken what has always been true. So as you listen, do not just hear, feel. Let go of logic. Release control. Step into the current with openness. And if your soul has been asking for a sign, this is it. These are the 6 sacred frequencies of July 2025, plus 1 master key reserved for those whose hearts have been silently preparing for lifetimes. Take a deep breath, let the silence between your thoughts become your guide, and say inwardly, "I am ready, I receive, I remember." Let us begin. Number 17. The silent strength beneath the noise. In a world dazzled by noise and distracted by spectacle, there exists a number that walks in the shadows, unnoticed by the many but sacred to the few. Number 17. It does not announce itself with grandeur, nor does it flash across your path like lightning. Instead, it hums in the background of your journey like a forgotten melody that only the soul remembers. This is the number of quiet strength, of effort uncelebrated, of victories earned in silence. 17 is not the chosen number of those who crave applause. It belongs to the souls who rise at dawn to build the invisible, who endure not for recognition, but because something ancient within them knows the value of staying. It whispers to the seeker who continues even when the road disappears. It wraps itself around the heart that gives without witness, and the spirit that surrenders the outcome but never the path. In Buddhist philosophy, this number mirrors the silent labor of karma, the unseen cause that will one day bloom into radiant effect. The Buddha once said, "Drop by drop is the water pot filled." So too does 17 teach that every small, unnoticed act of love, of discipline, of truth, is not forgotten. It accumulates. It gathers like morning dew, like the hush of wind before the monsoon, slowly, patiently, with reverence. 17 reminds us that spiritual mastery is not loud, it is subtle, disciplined, and eternal, and within its numeric code lies the deeper layer. 1 + 7 = 8, the number of karmic return, of balance, of dharmic law unfolding. In the realm of the mystic, 8 is the sacred loop, the infinity spiral, the cycle of sowing and reaping that transcends time. 17 is the quiet sower, placing seeds of effort in the fertile field of the now, trusting that the universe, in its own divine rhythm, will return the harvest. This number is guided by Saturn, the ancient taskmaster of the stars, the planet that governs time, discipline, and soul lessons etched in stone. To see 17 appear again and again is not mere coincidence, it is a cosmic checkpoint, a message encoded in the fabric of time. It may surface on receipts, on house numbers, in the stillness between breaths, and when it does, it is there to remind you, what you have been quietly building is not invisible to the universe. The storms you've walked through did not go unnoticed. The sacred persistence you've shown in darkness has been recorded, not by man, but by spirit. So if you find yourself weary from the long road, if your heart aches from bearing burdens in silence, let 17 be your companion, not to promise ease, but to affirm your path. It is the quiet promise that your time is not behind you. It is unfolding now, in sacred timing, in unseen ways, not with thunder, but with the slow, divine weight of destiny arriving. Can you find peace in the quiet work, trusting that what you've built in silence will soon speak louder than words? Number 9, the frequency of mastery. And now, we arrive at a number that so many mistake for a closing chapter, yet those with awakened eyes know better. Number 9 is not an end, it is a completion, but not in the way the world understands. For in the sacred currents of numerology, 9 is not death, but harvest, not loss, but luminous transformation. It is the lotus in full bloom, rising from the depth of the mud into the golden light of realization. 9 does not arrive early on your path, it waits, patiently. It only reveals itself after you've descended into your own shadows and risen with the clarity of self-knowledge. It comes to those who have burned away illusions, untangled karmic threads, and stood alone in the quiet furnace of their truth. 9 does not scream, it whispers, and in that whisper is the sound of inner alignment, the realization that you no longer need to chase what already lives within you. In Buddhist wisdom, 9 reflects the final fold of the noble eightfold path, right concentration. The still center, the eye of the storm. It is not about effort now, it is about integration. It is the softening of striving, the surrender of needing to fix or achieve. When the number 9 surrounds your life, you are being asked not to do more, but to be more. Be present, be anchored, be a quiet master of your own vibration. 9 also holds the sacred vibration of service. The enlightened being does not seek elevation, they become elevation. They serve not out of obligation, but as an extension of their inner radiance. The mystics say that when one truly reaches 9's frequency, they begin to walk the path, not of self, but of soul. Their energy calms rooms, their presence heals silently. They lead without speaking, because they have become the teaching. And yet, 9 is not always easy. It can bring release, endings, the soft closure of things that no longer resonate with your higher path. But these are not losses, they are initiations. They are the sacred shedding that allows your light to be more visible. Think of a snake shedding skin, not because the old was wrong, but because the new has outgrown it. That is the medicine of 9, evolution without noise, elevation without effort. To live in alignment with 9 is to live from the soul. Start each day in silence. Whisper the number 9, not as a word, but as a vibration. Let it settle in your chest like a golden bell, and then choose stillness over urgency. Choose clarity over performance. Let your evenings become altars of presence. One candle, one truth, one breath. That is the rhythm of mastery. Are you ready to become the calm, silent master of your own energy and let the universe rise to meet your stillness. Number 3. The sacred triangle of expression. Now feel the breeze shift. There is a lightness entering, a playful whisper in the cosmic wind, for we have come upon the sacred number 3. Unlike the depth of 9 or the grounding of 4, 3 dances. It does not push, it pulses. It is the divine child, the triangle of power, the union of feeling, expression, and embodiment. When you live in 3's frequency, your life begins to hum in harmony, not through control, but coherence. 3 is the vibration of clarity in motion. It is when the soul finds its voice and the voice finds its path. It asks, do your feelings match your words? Do your words match your actions? Are you living a song or reciting lines from someone else's script? 3 doesn't seek perfection, it seeks alignment, and in that alignment, joy flows, creativity blooms, and your energy becomes magnetic. In Buddhist tradition, the sacred triad emerges as the 3 jewels: the Buddha, the awakened self; the Dharma, the sacred path; the Sangha, the community of seekers. Together, they form the map of right living. To walk with 3 is to live in this rhythm, honoring self, honoring purpose, and honoring connection. When these 3 spheres are in balance, your life ceases to be a performance. It becomes a prayer. But 3 will also challenge you. It will reflect every space where you say one thing but feel another, where your heart longs for freedom but your actions seek approval. If your energy feels fractured, 3 is not punishing you. It is pointing you home. It invites you to return to your truth, to speak not louder but truer, to create without calculating, to dance not for praise but for presence. Living in the frequency of 3 is not about showing off, it is about showing up. You become magnetic, not because you try, but because you're whole. When your soul, your voice and your actions begin to mirror each other, you radiate a beauty that cannot be mimicked. The mystics call this coherence, a sacred rhythm, a life where truth and love flow freely, without apology. Begin now, say what you mean, not with force, but with grace. Express without filtering, not to be seen, but to be real. Let art pour from you. Let joy be your teacher. Let presence replace performance. This is how you honor the sacred triangle, not in thought, but in embodiment. What part of your truth are you still dimming, and what would happen if you let it shine fully and fearless? Number 7, the lotus path of sacred inner steps. Now once more, we return to stillness, where the world softens and the soul begins to whisper. We arrive at the number 7, not as a destination, but as a moment of sacred pause. This is the number of inner wisdom, of spiritual refinement, of quiet truths that bloom not in noise, but in silence. 7 doesn't chase the light, it becomes it, step by sacred step. In every tradition that seeks the divine, 7 appears like a golden thread weaving through time. 7 colors of the rainbow, the prism of light, 7 musical notes, the essence of harmony, 7 chakras, the ladder of consciousness. And in Buddhist lore, the awakened Buddha took 7 footsteps upon the earth, and from each, a lotus bloomed. These are not symbols, they are maps, maps that point not outward, but inward. 7 is not loud, it is not fast. It is the gentle voice that rises when the world is quiet. It arrives like a bell in meditation, a sacred chime, asking, are you present? Are you listening? When you see this number, in the elevator, on the street, glowing on your clock, know that it is more than coincidence. It is spirit nudging you back to alignment. The path is not gone. You are simply being asked to slow your steps and see again. To embody the frequency of 7 is to stop racing and begin receiving. Mornings become rituals. You place your hand on your heart and whisper softly, 7. You imagine golden light spiraling through your spine, clearing the clutter. softening the tension, bringing your awareness back to center. You walk slower, you speak gentler, you hear the rustle of the leaves. You start to feel life again, not as a blur, but as a blessing. 7 does not ask for performance, it asks for presence. It is the monk's number, the seeker's path, the lotus that rises slowly from the mud, unbothered by the noise around it. In a world that shouts, 7 teaches you to whisper, to listen to the sound beneath sound, to hear what your spirit already knows but your mind often forgets, that peace is not at the end of the path. Peace is the path. The mystics, from the ancient Himalayan seers to the words of Buddha himself, remind us, awakening is not a flash of light, but a series of gentle recognitions. 7 is each of those moments. And when you honor them, when you let stillness lead, your life begins to shift without effort. You do not move forward because you strive. You move because you're aligned. Can you let go of the rush and be still enough to hear the quiet wisdom rising from within? Number 22. The master builder of sacred foundations. Now enters the sacred architect, the one who does not merely envision, but brings forth what is seen in spirit into the soil of reality. We meet number 22, the master builder, the alchemist of soul and structure. This number does not speak in ideas alone. It speaks in actions, blessed by clarity, not from ego, not from noise, but from the deep reservoir of inner knowing that says, now is the time to build. 22 is not ordinary energy. It is a master frequency, the rare vibration that holds the codes of divine manifestation, where the dream no longer floats, but begins to take root. In the eyes of the mystics and the old monks of the Himalayas, 22 is the bridge between heaven and earth, a number that speaks to those who are ready to construct lives not of hollow ambition, but of sacred purpose. This is the builder's moment. Not a hurried labor, but a sacred ceremony. The world may tell you to hustle, but the master builder does not rush. It listens, it aligns. In the teachings of the Buddha, true creation begins not with stone or hand, but with the mind purified by intent. You do not build out of lack, but from fullness. You do not chase the future, you sculpt it slowly, one conscious breath at a time. When 22 enters your life, in a receipt, a date, a room number, see it as a call, a sign that the vision you've carried is now meant to be lived. But it will require devotion. It will ask for still mornings and honest answers. Begin with silence. Just 5 minutes. Close your eyes and see the path before you, not paved, but glowing. With every breath, step forward. Whisper gently, I trust my power, I am building my path. On Fridays, in this mystical month of July, light a candle as the sun sets. Write down 3 areas of your life, asking to grow roots. Beside each one, inscribe the number 22. Then speak them aloud, like mantras, summoning the structure from spirit. For 22 is not a number that waits. It is a frequency of activation. It doesn't arrive with permission. It arrives with presence. It doesn't give you the key. It reminds you that you've always held it, hidden beneath doubt, buried under hesitation. And now, the door stands before you, unlocked, waiting. Remember, even the temples were once visions. Even the Bodhi tree began as a seed. You are not building a life from scratch. You are uncovering the sacred blueprint that was always within you. What sacred structure within your soul is ready to rise, if only you would trust your hands to build it? Bonus frequency, number 66. The sacred mirror of receiving. And now, beloved traveler, we step beyond the visible numbers and into the sacred mirror, the hidden chamber of divine alignment. We arrive at the bonus frequency of number 66, a number that does not demand effort, but invites surrender, a soft power, a quiet current, the frequency of allowing. While the single 6 is powerful in itself, echoing the Sat parameters of Buddhist wisdom: generosity, ethical conduct, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and transcendent wisdom. The doubled six becomes something else entirely. It is no longer just a guide. It becomes a portal, a vibration not of pursuit, but of transformation. 66 appears when you have done the work, and must now let the universe meet you halfway. When the soil has been tilled, the seeds planted, the water offered, and all that remains is the gentle trust that the bloom will come. This number is not for the restless, but for the ready, ready to receive, without chasing, ready to rest, without guilt, ready to let the sacred arrive, not as a prize, but as a promise. In the ancient teachings, balance is not a passive state, it is a living rhythm. 66 holds this rhythm between striving and surrender, between material fulfillment and spiritual elevation. It teaches that abundance is not an escape from spirit, it is an extension of it. When the body and soul are aligned, the world flows toward you, not away. To attune yourself to this frequency, place the number 66 beneath your pillow tonight. Let your dreams open like lotus petals to its subtle guidance. At dawn, before the world awakens fully, light a single candle in silence. Seek 11 intentions from your heart, not desires, but soul-anchored truths. Then whisper gently, "I receive," and walk away. Let go. You've already done enough. You've already become enough. For 66 does not respond to force. It responds to trust. It does not reward control. It honors openness. And in that openness, miracles are not summoned. They arrive quietly, gracefully, without need for attention. Remember, the greatest blessings rarely knock. They flow in through the door left open by surrender. Can you quiet the need to chase and trust that what is yours will find you in divine time? The closing transmission. You are the awakening. If something moved in you as these sacred numbers whispered their truths, know this: it was never by chance. You were not merely listening, you were remembering. The numbers spoken here were not forecasts from a distant star. They were soul echoes, ancient frequencies woven into your being long before this lifetime. They came not to predict, but to awaken, to remind you that you are not just walking a path, you are the path. That energy does not live outside of you, it flows through you, shapes you, builds through you. That in this very breath, you are realigning, reawakening, returning. So don't take this as mere content. Let it settle deeper, as calling, as initiation, as a return to the sacred rhythm your soul has always known. These aren't lucky numbers, they are living codes, and they chose you because you are ready to carry them forward. Speak it now, not just in voice, but in vibration. I am open, I am aligned, I am ready. Let these words become a mantra, a frequency that ripples outward into every step you take. And if this journey has stirred your soul, offer something in return: a like, a share, a comment, a moment of intention. In the Dharma, this is dana, the sacred act of giving. It is the first gateway into abundance, not through possession, but through presence. And until we meet again beneath the light of another sacred moon, remember this one truth: you are not waiting for abundance. You are not chasing alignment. You are not hoping for light. You are becoming it.